Hey, before we begin, please just like and subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel out a lot. I take my time in making these product reviews for you all and getting them to you. So please just help me and my channel out by liking and subscribing to my channel. Without further ado, let's get to the product review. I'll leave this right here in the video so you can actually see what this is. It's on Amazon. FairySandy antenna. And I will say right here, I'll show you real quick. It does have 4 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does, back right here. So you see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say that I in the building that I use this in, on one side I get great signal. I don't actually need this at all. I don't need it at all. But on the other location, the other side of the building, where I'm at, some of the times, I noticed that my signal started to dip, and so at first I was like, well, the first time I happened, it was a rainy night, so I said, maybe it's just me. So I didn't think much about it. And then this week I was using it again, and I was like, wow, my signal is really taking a nosedive. And so, and what I will say is that where it's plugged up at, whenever I plug up the T-Mobile home internet for YouTube, if you guys hear this, always try to plug it up as close to a window as possible. And they say try to point it towards the direction of the tower. I really haven't done that. I always just put it towards the window. I don't really try to point, because I don't know where the tower is at. I mean, I've never really cared enough to look. All I know is that whenever I put it near a window, I get 4 to 5 bars, which is full bars. When I take it away from a window, I get about 2 to 3 bars. So putting it by a window, you'll get a better signal. In the building that I'm at now, where the plug is at, the box is about 2 to 3 feet away from the window, so I actually can't reach the window. And I think that's actually, like, that 2 3 feet is really killing my signal. Instead of getting like 4 5 bars, I'm getting like 2 bars, 3 sometimes. And so it's really killing the Wi-Fi speeds on the T-Mobile 5G home internet. And again, going back to what I said before, a lot of it is your location and whether or not you can get it to and by a window, and the makeup of the building. If you're using this in a building where you're in a basement somewhere and there are no windows, you're probably not going to get as good a signal as you would if you're in an office building and you're by a window. And that's just give or take, because you're further away from the window, and you have other barriers to actually playing against that signal, whether it's concrete, metal, whatever it is. So location matters, where you are in the building matters, the material in the building matters, things like that. So I'll just put that out there when it comes to the T-Mobile 5G home internet. All that stuff matters. So the issue that I was having now is that I only get like 1 or 2 bars, and I'm like, I said 2 to 3 feet away from the window. Maybe it's about 3 to 5 feet away from the window. And I noticed that because of that, my bars dip. So I was like, you know what I could just do? I could just actually just I could just buy an antenna, which would actually give me the extra 2 to 3 feet. Because this antenna right here, I'll see it's right here. I'll see, I'll open it real quick. It's pretty long. Yeah, this antenna is pretty long. All the way, and it's right here. So yeah, it's pretty long. So this would definitely give me the length I need to put this in the window to get the extra reception. Now, does it actually work? I'm gonna put the speeds up. On camera right here, but I wanna read to you what I got with it and what I got without it. Without the antenna, I got 305 megabytes per second. That's download, and I got 17.1. That's upload speeds. And I'll put it up here. With the antenna, I got 324 download speeds, and I got 20.3 upload speeds. After I tested the speeds without the antenna and with the antenna, I then unplugged my T-Mobile 5G home internet, and I took the speed to my house of my network. I have Xfinity in my home. I got 302 megabytes per second download, and I got 33.2 upload. So this T-Mobile home internet is faster than my Xfinity internet. And the ping in my house was 18, the jitter was 10. The ping on the T-Mobile was 19, and the jitter was 4. So this T-Mobile home internet, it is, and the ping on the T-Mobile home internet didn't change when I had the antenna. It didn't change. Neither did the jitter. I'm looking at it now. Neither did the jitter. So the jitter and the ping didn't change. So like I said before, this T-Mobile 5G home internet is really a valuable option, and you really can use it to substitute the internet in your house. No, not substitute. You can use it for internet in your house. In fact, when my contract is up with Xfinity, I think my bill might go to 80 to 90 bucks, and I just told myself I'm probably gonna just get the T-Mobile home internet, put another box upstairs in a window somewhere, and just use that as my home internet. When you travel, one of the things you worry about, me, my wife, and my family, we recently took a trip to Massanutten, our timeshare, and that's in Virginia. It's about 3.5 hours from us, from Baltimore, going southwest, I think southwest, southeast. But they have their own internet there. I don't like using public internet. So every time we go somewhere, I always take my T-Mobile 5G home internet. And I will say that for those who don't know, Massanutten is a rural area. It's a very rural area. It's in the middle. It's a very small town, but it's a rural area. The internet that Massanutten gives us for our timeshare was about 40 to 50 megabytes per second, and my internet, T-Mobile was in the hundreds. So yeah, so you can use it. I use it. Like I said, I use it when I travel. That's why I keep it. I keep it because you can pay for you can use the hotspot on your phone, but chances are, I don't know anybody who has an unlimited hotspot. I'm playing. I don't. I have 50 megabytes. I'm sorry, 50 gigabytes. And if I use all mine, sometimes I use my wife's because she don't use it anyways. So I have 50 gigabytes. And my wife has 50 gigabytes on her phones. But when we were in Macedonia for about a little under a week, I think when I checked my T-Mobile, because in the app you can actually check your usage. Let me show you real quick. You can check your usage on the app. I think we were like, geez, like a little over 100 gigabytes. Not a whole lot. But I think that also too, just factoring in, we were using laptops, tablets at nighttime. Kids were watching movies. Me and my wife, we were in the room watching movies. We were basically up all night because we were on vacation. I was binge watching Queen of the South. Somebody had just put me on to it, so I was bitch watching all those episodes, all those seasons. So yeah, so we were like, I was watching Queen of the South. I must have bench watched that whole series mainly at Massanutten because I was just killing them. I was killing the episodes. So yeah, so I use a little over 100 gigabytes with my T-Mobile 5G home internet in Massanutten, and it was a lot faster than the Wi-Fi at Massanutten. So why would I not carry it with me? If you are somewhere, or if you have your 5G home internet somewhere, if you get T-Mobile 5G home internet, which you should get it, if you get it and you like, maybe you have it on the shelf somewhere, and but your plug is somewhere, but you can't get it by a window, yes, you could just use the extension cord. You can just get one of these. Yesterday, during my review, I realized that I had did a few things. I realized that I didn't do a few things, so I kind of just wanted to I didn't mention a few things in my review at the time. I didn't realize it, so it's actually on me. So I was like, let me go ahead and add this in the beginning of the video. I'm actually downstairs in my office editing the video, and I realized I didn't actually put this. Some of the information I gave was wrong. So in the review that I gave yesterday of this FairySandy 5G, 4G, 5G home internet and antenna right here, one of the things that I realized that I didn't do is that I never actually put my T-Mobile home mobile internet in external antenna mode. It was in internal still. Now, I will say that one of the things that I came to a conclusion of is that I ran several tests with the antenna on and with it off. And even with the antenna on, if you don't go to the actual T-Mobile home internet modem and put it on external antenna, you'll still see about I'll say you'll still see a possibly a 15 to 30 megabytes per second boost in your speeds, even without having without going to the actual settings on the T-Mobile home internet gateway or router and putting external antenna. You'll still see a boost about 10 to 30 megabytes per second. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Secondly, so yesterday, I got this antenna for my other location, and the issue I was having was, like I said before yesterday during the video, is that when I was on one side of the building, I was getting great speeds, but on the other side of the building, the speeds were terrible. And so the issue was that I was having T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway was plugged up about 3 to 5 feet from a window, and there was no actual plug to actually get me to a window. Now that I think about it, I could have just bought an extension cord, but I didn't want to do that. So I realized that getting this right here, this is probably about, I'll say it's probably about 5 to 7 feet as far as the actual length of the antenna. And they're, of course, they're meant to be long. So if you need to put it outside your window or put it somewhere, it can do so. But long story short, I just wanted to set it in the window. So once I did transition the gateway from internal antenna to external antenna, I did see speed boosts, and the speeds did fluctuate. And because where I was at, it wasn't really on my mind to actually to actually film the speeds. I apologize. The time that was not really what I do when I'm at the location, but I did run a couple speed tests before and after, and I will say that it's possible that you could see a speed boost to about 50 to 100 megabytes per second once you actually go to the gateway and put it in external antenna mode. I'm going to show you how to do that right here. So right now, I'm actually at my T-Mobile home internet router, and one of the things I didn't realize is that you actually, once you hook up an external antenna, like what you see right here, you actually have to go into the settings, and you can choose left or right. Doesn't really matter, but you can go, once you get to antenna, you hit the middle button, and it's gonna say external or internal. Choose whichever one you want, and then you're gonna click one and choose OK. Um, if I choose internal, it'll reconnect to the internal antenna. If you choose, you can go back. Right now, it's set to internal antenna. I'm gonna choose external antenna, which means you have a physical antenna that's connected to it. Gonna go there, and then you see it right now. It's connecting again, and boom, like that. Okay, so now that we're back, so because when you go on Amazon, this antenna has a lot of mixed reviews on their in their reviews column. Has a lot of mixed reviews on Amazon. But I feel like sometimes people don't know how to actually use things, or they don't actually. Now, granted, this antenna did not come with any instructions. If you bought this antenna and just screwed it up to your T-Mobile gateway, will you get a boost? Yes. Will you get the optimal boost if you actually go in the gateway and switch it to external antenna? No. And I feel like this antenna doesn't come with any instructions. It just really this in the box, and that's it. So a lot of the reviews that I see on Amazon, I can understand why people are like, well, it didn't work. Yeah, because it didn't come with any instructions. It didn't tell you that you needed to actually go into the T-Mobile home internet, 5G home internet gateway and change the settings on the actual gateway from external antenna to external antenna. So yeah, you probably didn't get the most optimal speeds that you could have gotten. Now, also too, I want to say too, one of the things that I did notice is that for some reason, whenever I go to external antenna mode on the gateway, and because I kept flipping back and forth from internal to external, is that it seems like the upload speeds are actually faster on um internal antenna versus external antenna. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's not by much. It's not by a lot where you could actually be able to see like tell a difference. No, it's not by a lot, but I did notice that. But also too, I noticed that the pings and the jitter was lower on external antenna mode versus internal external mode. So I just wanted to kind of share these things with you before you go out there. And before I finish up with this review, before I finish editing this review, I wanted to put this a tidbit in there. It was information that I did not know. I don't like not adding information in my videos. So whenever I realize I made a mistake or whatever, I'll go back and I'll correct that information. So also too, I did want to say, I kind of touched on it yesterday in a video, but I kind of wanted to just to kind of reiterate it again. And this is simply based off the reviews that I'm seeing on Amazon of this 4G, 5G home internet antenna. Is that, and I will leave the link in the description below, so you will be able to find the link to this if you have a T-Mobile home internet. And I'll make sure I leave the actual T-Mobile 5G home internet router model, because I think one of the things I was seeing in videos is that for the newer model that they have, the one that I have, it looks the same, but it does not have the ports to put an external antenna. So that's one of the things that I kind of realized. So I'll leave my model number, and if you have that model number, you can of course get that. And of course, just so I have the four. If your T-Mobile home internet router doesn't have the four things in the back, and these are like 90-degree things, so if you don't have the four things in the back, then you probably can't use this antenna. Just kind of give you a heads up, because they have a newer model from what I understand that looks just like this right here, but it doesn't have these in the back. So that will be the difference. So before I leave, I did want to say that I said it yesterday in the video, and I kind of want to say it again. The speeds that you will get with the T-Mobile home internet router really depends on the area you live in. If you're in a rural area, I don't think you may, it's possible that you may not get speeds as fast as somebody who lives in a metropolitan area, like New York, Seattle, Philadelphia, DC, Baltimore, like myself. If you live in a rural area, you're probably not gonna get those kind of speeds. A lot of people, I feel like they're getting this antenna and they're probably somewhere, I'll say probably maybe in a dead zone somewhere. And so they're like, well, it's not working, it's trash. This antenna, I think the best case scenario is someone like myself. I have it plugged up about 47 feet from a window. I can't really get it to a window. I just want to get that extra. I just want to get the antenna in a window to get the extra signal. And I'm only looking for about, realistically, I'll say 20 to about 50 megabytes a second of gain in my upload and my download speed. I think that's reasonable. If you're getting it because you're thinking that it's going to take you from 5 megabytes to 500 megabytes, don't get it. It's not going to do that. If you're getting it because you're thinking it's going to take you from 15 to 25, 35, 45, then get it. Before I actually added the antenna to my other location, my upload speeds were my download speeds were about 4 to 7 megabytes per second. And when I added this antenna, it did jump to like 25, 30. So again, that's reasonable. So I think the reasonable range for this antenna, and again, I'll say it, is probably between 15 to 100 megabytes per second. But that's really varies between, again, your location, where you're at, the material in the house, the room that you're in. If you're in the basement, like right now, I'm in my basement where my office is editing this video. I did a speed test on my T-Mobile home internet router. I was getting less than 100 megabytes per second. I'm in my basement. You're not gonna get 500 megabytes if you're in a basement. Now, if by some way I had this antenna wired all the way upstairs, which I wouldn't do, is ridiculous. But let's say, keep saying I did that, I probably would see about 300-400 megabytes per second. Yeah, that's realistic. But again, the base is down here, and I'm running antenna all about 20 feet upstairs to my home. So I just kind of wanted to help kind of give perspective, because if you're in an area where you don't get good service before you get the antenna, and push come to shove, listen, just try it out. It's Amazon. If you get it and it doesn't work for you, you can always return it. That's the beautiful thing about Amazon. So I'll say that if you think it's ideal that you can get about 20 to 100 megabytes per second, or you have a similar situation like me, I would say get it and try it out. If you get it and it doesn't work out for you, you can always send it back to Amazon and get your money back. It's that simple. That's why we all shop on Amazon. So thank you guys. Sorry about the misinformation yesterday. I corrected it. Here we go.